Galactic War, Judgment Day. In a distant galaxy where technology and power intertwine like an intricate web, Lord Vexar, the supreme ruler of the Zelther Empire, reigns from his mighty throne. Under his command is an army of advanced beings, hybrids of machinery and biology, endowed with superior intelligence and unmatched combat prowess. For centuries, Vexar has conquered dozens of planets, turning them into impregnable fortresses of his empire. But there is one planet that remains untouched: Earth. It is nothing more than a small blue gem in the vast galaxy, home to inhabitants engrossed in their daily lives. Humanity, despite its remarkable technological advancements, has yet to reach the level where it can defend itself against extraterrestrial forces. Judgment Day, Neo-Tokyo, year 2147. The night sky was shrouded in the glow of towering skyscrapers, hovering airships, and flickering holographic billboards. Below, the bustling streets remained alive with people lost in their own worlds, unaware that beyond the planet's atmosphere, a storm was brewing. Aboard the space station Orbit 9, a team of scientists and military personnel monitored strange signals emanating from deep space. Dr. Eleanor Vasquez, an astrophysics specialist, furrowed her brows as she stared at the screen before her. "I have never seen a signal like this before. It's not natural. It appears to be some kind of transmission, possibly from another civilization," she murmured. Commander Nathan Graves, head of the Planetary Defense Forces, stepped closer. "Could it just be interference from satellites on the outskirts of the solar system?" Eleanor shook her head. "Number this frequency is too stable, with a distinct pattern. If this is a signal, it means someone is either trying to communicate with us or watching us." Meanwhile, on the far side of the galaxy, Lord Vexar sat upon his throne aboard the massive warship Zephyr Prime. His cold gaze fixated on the image of Earth displayed on his screen. A planet rich in resources, yet untouched. "If we take control, our empire will thrive for millennia," Vexar mused. Beside him, General Zalcor, a towering being clad in biomechanical armor, bowed respectfully. "My lord, the fleet is ready. At your command, we will invade this world." Vexar smirked. "Let them witness the true power of the Zeltar Empire." The invasion. The next day, the invasion began. A series of unidentified objects appeared in Earth's skies. Massive warships blocking out the sun hovered ominously over major cities. Air raid sirens blared across the globe. Earth's defense forces immediately went on high alert. Aboard Orbit 9, Eleanor and Nathan watched in horror. "We're under invasion," Nathan muttered, his breath unsteady. From Vexar's warships, waves of alien warriors descended. Their humanoid forms were encased in living metal armor, their glowing eyes like burning embers. They stormed the streets, demolishing buildings and overwhelming human military forces with sheer firepower and advanced technology. But humanity was not so easily defeated. The Earth Alliance launched a counterattack, deploying squadrons of high-tech fighter jets, firing powerful laser weaponry at the invaders. Yet, despite their efforts, human technology was still no match for the superior might of the Zelthar Empire. The sky was ablaze with fierce aerial dogfights, while on the ground, battles erupted in every major city. Buildings crumbled, streets split apart, and screams of terror echoed through the chaos. Amidst the devastation, Eleanor and Nathan made a critical discovery. "They have a weakness," Eleanor exclaimed. "Their armor relies on a high-frequency energy source. If we can generate a powerful enough electromagnetic pulse, we can disable them. Nathan's eyes lit up with determination. Then we need to make it happen now! Counterattack! A plan was quickly set into motion. Scientists and engineers collaborated with the military to construct a large-scale electromagnetic pulse EMP weapon. Meanwhile, Earth's forces continued their desperate battle, fighting to buy time. At the decisive moment, the weapon was activated. A wave of invisible energy rippled through the planet's atmosphere. Instantly, the Zelthar warriors' armor began to malfunction, pieces falling apart as their power sources flickered out. Their warships' control systems were rendered useless, leaving them vulnerable. With their protective suits failing, Vexar's once invincible soldiers were now exposed. Easy targets for humanity's relentless counterattack. Earth's fighter jets tore through enemy ships while ground forces struck back with renewed ferocity. One by one, the alien invaders fell. Realizing the tide had turned, Lord Vexar, seething with frustration, had no choice but to order a full retreat. Peace or a warning? With the Zelthar army retreating, Earth was left in ruins. Cities lay in devastation, but humanity had prevailed. They now knew they were no longer alone in the universe, and that this war might have only been the beginning. Nathan gazed up at the star-filled sky. We defended our planet this time. But will they come back? Eleanor smiled, her eyes filled with determination. If they do, we'll be ready. And so, in the quiet aftermath of battle, Earth began preparing for a new future. One where humanity was no longer just a passive species, but warriors of the galaxy. The sound of a spaceship landing. The sun dipped below the towering skyscrapers of Astra City, casting long shadows across the streets. Neon lights flickered to life, illuminating the night with vibrant hues as traffic rushed through the bustling metropolis. But amid the everyday chaos, no one realized that something unprecedented was unfolding above. Suddenly, a deep, thunderous roar, like the voice of a god, echoed from the sky. The clouds twisted and churned, as if manipulated by an unseen force. Darkness swept over the city as a massive spacecraft emerged from the heavens. Its sleek, black metallic hull reflected the city's lights as it descended. Panic erupted. Air raid sirens blared. People froze in place, staring upward in shock. Some screamed and ran, while others remained paralyzed with fear. Police scrambled to respond, yet no one knew what to do. Nothing like this had ever happened before. The ship halted, hovering a few hundred meters above the ground. A pulsating green light emanated from its underside, sweeping across the city as if searching for something. Within moments, vehicles shut down, phones lost signal, streetlights flickered out. The city was plunged into eerie silence, broken only by the terrified gasps of its people. What do we do now? From a high-rise office, Dr. Alan Carter, a leading astrophysicist, stared out the window, his hands trembling. He grabbed his landline phone. Dead. He turned to his assistant, Sophia, who looked equally terrified. What do we do now? She whispered. Alan swallowed hard. I don't know, but this might not be an invasion. At least not yet. On the streets, hundreds of thousands rushed toward shelters or desperately tried to flee. Military forces quickly set up a perimeter. Fighter jets hovered in standby mode, awaiting orders. They waited for a signal from these uninvited visitors. Then a massive door in the spacecraft's underside began to open. A glowing ramp of light extended downward, touching the ground. A suffocating silence enveloped the city. Time stretched unbearably, and then they appeared. We bring a warning. Stepping into the light, tall, slender beings with silvery skin emerged. Their luminous eyes held both wisdom and authority. One figure, seemingly their leader, raised a hand in a universal gesture of peace. But no one dared to assume peace just yet. A voice boomed from military headquarters, carried through loudspeakers across the city. This is General William Grant of the Global Defense Force. Identify yourselves and state your intentions. The aliens remained silent for a moment. Then the leader spoke. His voice strange yet intelligible. We have not come to wage war. We bring a message. Earth stands on the brink of annihilation. The words struck like a bombshell. In the command center, Alan Carter's world spun. Earth is going to be destroyed? General Grant's face hardened. Explain. What is this threat? The alien leader raised his hand. A holographic projection materialized in midair. The image displayed a colossal asteroid, far larger than any city on Earth, hurtling toward the planet at terrifying speed. A massive asteroid will collide with your world in less than a year. If no action is taken, your civilization will cease to exist. A stunned silence filled the military headquarters. Scientists, politicians, and generals stared at the image in disbelief. If this was true, Earth had less than 1 year until extinction. Alan Carter's heart pounded. This was not science fiction. This was real. And humanity had only one chance to survive. Why are you helping us? General Grant's voice was grave. Why warn us? You could simply leave us to our fate. The alien leader's glowing eyes locked onto his. Because we were once like you. Our civilization perished because we ignored a warning from the cosmos. We do not wish to see you repeat our mistake, but whether you believe us or not is your choice. We only offer a chance. Alan looked at General Grant. This was a decision no single person could make. This was not about one nation. This was about all of humanity. After an agonizing pause, Grant took a deep breath. We will listen. At that moment, history changed forever. The race against time had begun. A race not for power, not for conquest, but for survival. The vast galaxy and the galactic overlord. The vast galaxy lay shrouded in a mysterious darkness, its planets shimmering like countless precious gems scattered across the infinite void. A colossal spaceship radiating an ethereal blue light slowly descended onto the surface of a distant planet. Its massive doors open with a deep, resonant hum, revealing a towering, majestic figure. The galactic overlord emerged, draped in a cloak woven from celestial threads of starlight. His eyes gleamed like twin miniature suns, reflecting infinite wisdom and boundless power. A pulse of energy emanated from his being, distorting the very fabric of space, causing the sky itself to tremble for a brief moment. Before him, a vast assembly of beings, humans and alien species from distant star systems, knelt in awe, their gazes filled with reverence and fear. None dared to breathe too loudly as they looked upon the one who had been proclaimed the ruler of the galaxy. His voice thundered through the cosmos, powerful and commanding. Inhabitants of this vast universe, the time for change has come. I am the galactic overlord, the harbinger of a new order. From this day forward, darkness shall be driven back. The strong shall no longer oppress the weak, and all shall be united under a single rule. The crowd murmured, a mix of fear, skepticism, and hope flickering in their eyes. For centuries, the galaxies had been plagued by war, planets conquered, civilizations wiped out by the insatiable greed of ruthless tyrants. The Overlord's words were like a beacon of light, piercing through the darkness, but also a warning of an impending, absolute rule. A warrior clad in silver armor, representing one of the most formidable races in the universe, stepped forward, kneeling on one knee. "Great Overlord," he asked, "how can you guarantee that this unity will not become yet another form of oppression?" The Overlord raised his right hand, and from his palm, a radiant orb of energy materialized, pulsating with cosmic brilliance. "With my power, with the wisdom of the loyal, and with the unity of all species. This is not conquest, but a path for us to exist, to evolve, and to reach new frontiers of the universe together." His words echoed through the space, resonating within the minds of those who listened. A strange feeling swept over them, part admiration, part unease. The former rulers of the galaxies would not surrender so easily, but those who had suffered under tyranny felt a flicker of hope ignite within their souls. In the days that followed, news of the galactic overlord's arrival spread across the stars, sending shockwaves through civilizations. Rulers convened in secret, war councils whispered strategies, and those who had long wished for peace dared to hope for true change. But the Overlord did not remain idle. He journeyed from planet to planet, star system to star system, carrying his message of unity. He gathered the greatest minds, the fiercest warriors, forging an unprecedented interstellar alliance. Yet not everyone welcomed his rule. In the shadows, a resistance began to form. The old powers of the universe would not yield without a fight. The battle between the new order and the remnants of the past had only just begun. The intergalactic invader. "People of Earth, I have come to reclaim what is rightfully mine. Your planet holds secrets that I desire." A deep, resonant voice echoed across the night sky, laced with power and authority. Above the Earth, a massive, ominous spaceship hovered, black as the void itself, swallowing even the light around it. Pulses of green energy crackled from its surface, flashing like lightning in a storm. The world trembled. Emergency broadcasts erupted across every channel. Governments scrambled into crisis meetings. Military forces were deployed at maximum alert. Panic swept through the cities. Some rushed to supermarkets to stock up on supplies while others fell to their knees in prayer, fearing the worst. Nobody knew who this alien was, but everyone understood one thing. A defining moment had arrived. NORAD Command Center, a race against time. Deep inside the NORAD Command Center, General Marcus Donovan stared grimly at the massive screen before him. Satellite images revealed the colossal spaceship hovering above New York City, a pulsating glow forming at its center, as if preparing to fire. "Do we have communication with them?" he barked. "A transmission just came in, sir," an officer responded. "He calls himself Zal Zaroth, from the planet Karthos, thousands of light years away. He claims Earth holds something that belongs to him." Donovan frowned. "And what exactly does he think we have?" "We don't know, sir." Donovan clenched his fists, his knuckles turning white. If they didn't figure it out soon, Earth could be facing annihilation. A secret hidden in Earth's depths. Meanwhile, inside a classified research facility in Nevada, Dr. Eleanor Carter carefully examined a mysterious artifact discovered in Antarctica. A glowing crystal, inscribed with ancient, indecipherable markings, pulsed with an energy unlike anything Earth had ever seen. Every scientific instrument had detected its immense power, yet its nature remained unknown. Suddenly, the laboratory doors burst open. Armed soldiers stormed inside. "Dr. Carter, you need to come with us." "Now, by order of the president." "What's happening?" she asked, her voice filled with unease. "We believe this artifact is connected to the alien threat." Dr. Carter's eyes flickered toward the luminescent crystal. A strange sensation washed over her. An inexplicable connection. As if the crystal was calling out to her. Face to face with the invader back in New York City, Zal-Zaroth descended from his ship, stepping onto Times Square. He was towering, over 7 feet tall, encased in sleek biomechanical armor. His eyes burned like twin suns. Surrounding him, Earth's military stood ready, weapons trained on the alien warlord. A United Nations representative stepped forward. "Who are you? What do you want from us?" Zal-Zaroth raised a hand. A wave of energy rippled outward, yanking every weapon from the soldiers' grips, as if an invisible magnetic force had swept through the area. "People of Earth," he declared, "I warned you. Your planet possesses my crystal. It is a part of me, and I will not leave without it." Whispers of confusion spread through the crowd. A crystal? Was he referring to Dr. Carter's artifact? The truth unveiled hours later. Dr. Carter arrived in New York, carrying the crystal encased in an indestructible containment unit. As she stepped forward, holding it up, Zal-Zaroth's eyes flared. "Is this what you seek?" she asked. Zal-Zaroth reached for it, but the moment his fingers touched the crystal, an explosion of light erupted. A tidal wave of visions flooded Eleanor's mind. Memories of ancient civilizations, cosmic wars, and the greatest secrets of the universe. Her breath caught. "He's lying," she shouted. "This crystal does not belong to him. It is an ancient repository of knowledge. If he takes it, he will have the power to conquer the universe." The revelation sent shockwaves through the crowd. Zal-Zaroth roared in fury. "You cannot stop me." He lunged forward, but Eleanor raised the crystal high. A brilliant burst of light erupted, engulfing the entire square. When the glow faded, Zal-Zaroth was gone. A new chapter for humanity. Eleanor, now the guardian of the crystal, knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had awakened to a greater universe. And somewhere in the depths of space, another ship was approaching Earth. A cold, merciless voice whispered, "This is far from over." The universe stood still. The night sky stretched vast and infinite, with countless stars twinkling like silent witnesses to the fate of an entire species. Aboard the Resolute, a group of Earth's last defenders stood firm. They knew only one thing awaited them: a battle for survival. Ethan Kyle, their leader, stood before them, his deep blue eyes burning with determination. He had led them through many battles, but never before had he faced an enemy like the Galactic Overlord, a tyrant who had massacred hundreds of planets, extinguishing entire civilizations in his ruthless conquest. "We have no choice," Ethan spoke, his voice unwavering. Either we stand and fight, or we are erased from existence. Beside him, Kira, commander of the Special Forces, checked her weapon with cold precision, gripping her blaster tightly. We've fought together through everything. Tonight will be no different. A roar of agreement erupted from the warriors of Earth. Their hunger for vengeance burned bright, and they were ready to give their lives to stop the darkness from consuming their world. Suddenly, the holographic display before them flashed red. Enemy fleet detected. A colossal armada loomed over the Resolute, casting an ominous shadow across the vastness of space. Ethan took a deep breath. He raised his hand, then brought it down sharply. Attack! A blinding flash of light erupted as the battle began. Lasers tore through the void, ships exploded, and Earth's warriors fought with everything they had in what could be their final stand. Earth in the shadow of War Earth was drowning in darkness. The once vibrant neon-lit cities had been reduced to faint, flickering embers in the cold night. The once bustling streets were now filled with ruins, their roads covered in ashes and debris. Above them, alien warships hovered, their powerful beams illuminating the destruction below, like predators watching their prey collapse. The invasion had begun 3 months ago. The extraterrestrials had not come in peace. They came to conquer. Earth's technology paled in comparison to theirs. Their weapons of mass destruction could reduce entire cities to ashes in seconds. Humanity's air force, military, and advanced weaponry were swept away effortlessly in the opening hours of the war. At the Pentagon, General Maxwell of the United Allied Defense Forces was growing impatient. "We cannot sit here and wait to be destroyed," he roared, slamming his fists against the table. But Secretary of State Evelyn Carter refused to back down. "Launching an attack could mean the extinction of our species. We need to negotiate." Tension crackled through the room like a live wire. Fear, uncertainty, and a message from the stars outside. Panic consumed the streets. Some cities ordered evacuations while extremist groups stoked hysteria, calling this the end of days. Social media exploded with speculation. Are they here as friends or enemies? Then, a transmission echoed across the planet. A voice cold yet precise resonated from the sky. "People of Earth, we do not come as conquerors. We come with a choice. Your civilization stands at the threshold of destruction. We can help you, or we can leave forever. Prove that humanity is worthy of survival." The world stood still. A United Nations emergency meeting was called. Immediately. Some saw opportunity, others smelled a trap. What does proving our worth mean? World leaders debated. Is this an invitation to unity or submission? A test of humanity. In the following days, secret diplomatic talks began between Earth's representatives and the Luthari at a classified military base. Zalvok laid out their conditions for sharing advanced technology with Earth. 1. Humanity must abandon war. 2. The exploitation of Earth's resources must cease. 3. Nations must unite, not as rivals, but as one species. The conditions were logical, yet Earth's governments hesitated. "They want to control us," General Maxwell growled. "If we obey, they will have conquered us without firing a single shot." But President Ellison saw the truth. "This is not surrender," he said. "This is a test." He chose to negotiate. The breaking point. Then disaster struck. A rogue military faction, origins unknown, launched an unprovoked attack on one of the Luthari escort ships. The Luthari's response was swift, a final ultimatum. Humans have made a grave mistake. If you wish to correct it, prove you are not a war-driven species. Otherwise, we will leave you to destroy yourselves. The world unraveled in 48 hours of chaos. The Pentagon mobilized its full defense forces. The United Nations urged diplomacy. Protests erupted worldwide, some demanding peace, others calling for preemptive war. As the deadline loomed, President Ellison made a bold decision. A choice that changed history. In a historic global broadcast, he announced 1. A commitment to disarmament, including the reduction of nuclear stockpiles. 2. A coalition for global cooperation in renewable energy and technological advancement. 3. An open channel for peaceful engagement with the Luthari. Zalvok watched Earth's response closely. He knew changing an entire civilization would not happen overnight. But humanity had chosen to evolve, not through force, but through will. 1 week later, the Luthari mothership began its departure. Zalvok's final words echoed across the skies. We will return. When we do, I hope you are ready. As the Luthari disappeared, Earth breathed a sigh of relief. Yet one question remained. Had humanity truly changed? Or was this only a temporary peace waiting to be shattered,